Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekly Pick a Card Tarot readings for the week of July 11th. If we haven't met, my name is Sydney, I'm the tarot guy next door, and I use my occult knowledge and intuition to help guide you towards the life you want. If that's something you're into, make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you're always up to date on the advice that the cards have for you. I'll be doing 5 card open readings, and here are the decks that I have for you. We have the classic Rider-Waite-Smith with Obsidian, the Tarot de Marseille with Lapis Lazuli, and the borderless Rider-Waite-Smith with Amethyst. We also have 4 different oracle cards from 4 different decks. So go ahead and pick which tarot deck and which oracle card resonate with you the most. And of course, you can pause this video if you need more time. As always with collective readings, take what resonates with you and leave aside what doesn't. If you want to jump straight to your reading, feel free to use the timestamps that I've provided below. And with that, let's go right to the readings. All right, group 1, let's see what the week has in store for you. Oh, a small top pile, but let's see what that gives. So we start with the Death card reversed and the Magician reversed. So I'm not sure what the causal relationship is between these two cards, if any, but one thing is for sure, I'm picking up like a block, glitch, or delay in some kind of transformational process, which may or may not be affecting your ability to manifest and bring your will down to the real world, or it could be the opposite. Hopefully, it will be more clear with these next 2 cards, and we have the Lovers and the 2 of Cups and the 2 of Pentacles reversed. I will say, I'm trying to see how my own mispronouncements are playing into this. So this might be a love reading by the fact that I said Lovers, and this might, this week might have bigger stakes for you, group 1, given the fact that I initially said month. But we'll see. First of all, don't panic, even if your final card is reversed, which we will find out in any second here. But there's definitely some choices, to make, so to speak. And in the middle of our cross, we have the Emperor reversed with the 4 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. You know what? I'm gonna say this now because I'm recording this in late June, but this is something that I haven't really said on these YouTube these YouTube videos, and I'm probably gonna have to say this for a while. So something that I keep saying is that I use the bottom of the deck as the like underlying energy that provides subtext to the entire reading, and that is true. But a metaphor that I would misuse is that these cards are fish and the bottom of the deck is the water that they're swimming in. Another metaphor that I came up earlier this week, which is why I mentioned when I'm recording this, is that these cards are the bricks and the bottom of the deck is the mortar. So do we ignore it? Do we not? It depends on a case-by-case basis. I will say that despite the glitch in the matrix, the disturbance in the force that is suggested by your entire cross being reversed right now, I do see I do see this as part of the process of getting your establishing a mental structure, so to speak. Like there's one thing that that is coming to mind, and it's funny too. I'm mainly riffing off of this 4 of Swords at the bottom of your deck, which is a card of, you know, healing, regeneration, rest, and structure. Swords is the realm of thoughts and words, and to put your thoughts in order. What that reminds me of is the first time that you're trying a new technique or a new way to do something. It can seem awkward at first. And the first time that you do something, like, oh, for instance, the first couple times that I read tarot, I would have my little book, not the little white book that, hey, if it's all you have, then knock yourself out. But the little white book for tarot is very inadequate for learning. I'll leave it that way. So anyway, I had my Rachel Pollack book with me, and basically every card that I turned over, I would have to look up the meanings in that. Actually, this is a much more apt metaphor than I even realized. So I'm going to continue, and hopefully before I even tie this into your reading, which I've mostly ignored so far, Group 1, it'll make sense to how this applies to your situation. So, like I was saying, when I first started reading tarot, I had my little Rachel Pollack book with me, and whenever I would turn a card, I would, have to look up the meaning of the card in the book, despite having read the book and shit like that. And it would take me a while to figure out how that all fit together, how the cards would interact with each other. Like, what does this thing, what do these two cards standing side by side mean? And there was a lot of awkwardness and clunkiness in my readings at first. And the reason that this is relevant to you is because I have a feeling that this is kind of a graduation week for you, or at least that there is some kind of new level that has been attained in your ability to manifest and your ability to accomplish your goals, so to speak. And it might be something to do with your relationships, because again, I'm referring to me accidentally calling the Two of Cups the Lover's card. That I don't want to ignore it. I think anyway. The bottom line is, I think that there is it's kind of like, when you okay, this might not apply to you, so I'm going to speak in more general terms. When someone graduates from college and gets their first job in their field, the first couple months or maybe even the first year might be filled with feelings of insecurity and doubt, and maybe even feelings of unworthiness, or like, imposter syndrome for sure. Holy shit, that is so common. And yet, all of those feelings end up going away as they practice at this job for their new career. And I'm getting a very similar vibe for this. So it's like your ability to manifest and your ability to manifest your will into the real world has kind of reached a new level following a transformation. And the overall message of this cross is to not be discouraged by the fact that your first attempts at operating at this level are kind of clunky. I'm reading this entire, I'm reading the overall vibe of all these reversed cards. I'm reading this as prolonged clunkiness and kind of getting your sailor legs, to throw in yet another metaphor into your reading, Group 1. So I would encourage you to not be too hard on yourself and to understand that, first of all, working yourself to the bone, or at least trying to stubbornly make things work at the level that you expect to perform, might not be the best approach to navigate this week, Group 1. I would recommend just being kind on yourself and understanding that although you have the magic, you have all four tools, all four elements are on your table, and you have all the knowledge, but to actually use that to manifest something long lasting and practical, it can take time to actually figure out how to do that. So I would treat this week as, the first week at your new career, so to speak, following some kind of graduation or transformation. Which plays into me initially accidentally calling this a monthly reading when it's a weekly reading. So I can see this having long-term ramifications, but I'm overall optimistic. I will remind you that the cards all mean the same thing the way I do it. It's just the fact that the cards are reversed, which is like an extra data point. So yeah, don't be discouraged. Be gentle with yourself. This is kind of a new level that you're operating at, and make sure that whatever pressure that you might be tempted to put on yourself doesn't affect your relationships and doesn't affect your ability to make wise decisions. Yeah, just be gentle. I've said that often enough. Thank you so much for your attention and presence, Group 1. I will invite you to use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card reading. Hello, Group 2. Let's see what this week has in store for you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw down all 5 of your cards. Then from your perspective, I'm going to jump right into it because you're not going to see the minutes of me staring at these cards in silence. So we have the Fool and the World. Okay, the beginning and the end, so to speak. And the Devil at the middle of your cross with the Star at the bottom of your deck. One thing that I thought of a new metaphor this week to represent how I use the bottom of the deck. Something that you might have heard me say on this channel is that the cards are the fish and the bottom of the deck is the water that they're swimming in. That is nice and all, but I prefer to think of these cards as bricks, and the bottom of the deck is the mortar that holds them together. So depending on the bricks, the bricks are the star of this wall, but depending on what we see in the mortar, that might give clues too. Anyway, I'll see you right now, Group 2. So the vibe that I'm getting from this cross is that this is a warning, but it's also optimistic, strangely. So it seems as if a theme for you for this week, Group 2, will be the false illusion that the choices, it's going to be, I sense that this week will have a lot of false impressions that a choice that you want to make or a course of action that you want to take should come at the expense of stability. And well, okay, that is technically true. Whenever you want to do anything, really, you need to leave a certain form of stability. But I would say that the either-or mentality that comes with it, that you must necessarily sacrifice your stability in order to take the next step, I would warn you to really examine that impression. If you think that you want to take a course of action and that that you need to sacrifice something for a longer term in order to take a short-term gain, I would advise you to rise above that and to, the bottom line, I tried to integrate this clumsily, so I'll just state it straight out. You are in a better position than this choice would give you the impression of. And at the bottom line, deep down, you do have the protection. Now, you can interpret protection however you want. I'm going to take the more materialistic approach for this, for purposes of how I explain it. And I get how weird this sounds, doing this as part of a tarot reading, okay? So I get how weird that I look right now, Group 2. But the protection that I seek, that I'm speaking of, is that all the decisions that you've made so far to reach this point, I have the feeling that you have set yourself up to be able to take the next steps without having to worry about the stability that you have being too much at risk. I would encourage you to not be foolhardy. Don't take what I'm saying as a green light to take all sorts of actually stupid risks, I don't know, taking your retirement fund and using the entirety of your retirement fund to buy the dip in crypto or whatever, I would not. I would not advise against that. I would not advise that group two. But as long as you don't do like actually stupid things, like I just described, I think that whatever choice that you have to make that you think would cost you things in the long term, I would invite you to really examine that, because I have a feeling that for you this week, there's going to be a lot of false impressions that that you can't have this without sacrificing that. And I would advise you against that. So if you need to, let your hair down and relax and release some tension, that might help you see clearly through these false dilemmas. But overall, I would invite you to be confident that you have the ability to distinguish truth from falsehood, because it's going to come in really handy for you this week, group two. Do I have more to squeeze out of this orange? I honestly don't think so, but I'm going to take a quick look at this for a second. No, that's it. So thank you very much, group two. I hope that was helpful, and I will invite you to use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card reading. All right, group three, the Five of Swords flipped over while I was shuffling your deck. I don't know what significance that has, but I'm mentioning it also as a reminder to myself. So, for starters, we have the Page of Wands reversed and the King of Swords. So, we have two court cards right out of the gate. I'm not sure which one is you. Maybe they're both you. Maybe neither one is you. Let's flip over some more cards. We have the Six of Cups and the Empress reversed. And in the middle of your cross, we have the Fool with the 10 of Coins at the bottom of your deck. So that's overall quite optimistic. As a matter of fact, yeah, okay, despite the fact that you have the majority of your cross is reversed, including one of the two major arcana cards that you have, I still have, the center of your cross is the Fool upright, which, can't be but optimistic. I'm getting feelings of beginning a new cycle of beginning the creation of something that you have been prepared for and are at, how can I say this? That you have the knowledge necessary to take this leap, so to speak. And I think that no matter what ends up happening for you this week, I don't think that this week is a one in which you can, how can I say this? Don't read too much into this group three, but it's looking to me like like this week for you, with the 10 of Coins at the bottom of your deck and the Fool in the middle of your cross. This week for you has this feeling of saving your game at the beginning of a hard mission, and like no matter how badly you screw up the mission, you can always just reload your saved game and start over. Again, that might not be the best metaphor, but it's this feeling of that no matter how badly you fail this mission, that the consequences aren't that grave, so to speak. And again, don't be foolhardy. This is the fool can sometimes speak of foolishness, and my little rant here, if misinterpreted, might might dip you into that foolishness, and I'm trying to avoid that, group three. But I'm basically, especially with the King of Swords here at the bottom of your cross, signaling that whatever you're trying to create although it might take longer than you might want, that it's not due to your lack of skill or ability or preparedness, and that you are moving in the right direction, so to speak. Let me see here. I just realized that the entire rant that I gave so far rests on the assumption that this King of Swords represents you, and I'm now getting the impression that the King of Swords and the Page of Wands reversed are two different people, which means you might be the Page of Wands reversed. So I just want to give the basically the vibe that I'm getting, especially with the Six of Cups reversed here. I'm getting the feeling that there's someone that you are in a position to help or to get help from, depending on which one of these is you. And if you are the King of Swords, I would keep an eye out for people who are ready to take the next step, so to speak. And I'm speaking in vague terms on purpose, but that you can provide assistance to, because the Six of Cups, which I call the nostalgia card, it's also about like helping each other out and generosity and success in general. And this is something that is emotional, which might suggest someone from your past, although I'm not getting that vibe too strongly right now. One thing that is for sure though is if you are the King of Swords, you might be in a position to be the little guard dog here for the Page of Wands here, reverse, who is the Fool, who is about ready to jump off a cliff, and it might not be a good time for this person. And if this is resonating, you might want to capitalize on the opportunity to just, bark at this person and at least make them realize, hey, you're about to jump off a cliff. Are you sure about this? If you are the Page of Wands reversed, I would encourage you to have faith. I'm optimistic. Like, the Fool is upright for both of y'all, all right? So what I would say in your case is that there might be someone that you can reach out to get the knowledge that you seek to really turn yourself upright, so to speak. Because again, the I haven't said this in a while, but pages are like graduated aces the way I do it, and the fact that you, assuming you're the Page of Wands, are reversed, it strikes me as some kind of glitch or something off about where you are at now. And I think that in order to turn yourself upright, to really deepen your relationship with this new step that you're about to take, you might need some help from someone more knowledgeable than you. But ultimately, again, the Fool is upright for you no matter which person you are. So I'm optimistic about this reading overall. And I think that if you keep your eye on whatever it is that you're really after, that whatever challenges are in your way, I'm reading this Empress reverse here as a delay in creating something. Then, but it's a delay which is still, the delay that I'm reading in the Empress reversed, it's coming to me as not that big of a deal, especially considering the 10 of coins at the bottom of your deck. I'll refer you back to my saved game video analogy that I used earlier. Do I have anything else? It feels, you know what? I'm suddenly tempted to draw an advice card, so I will do that right now. And we have the 8 of coins reversed. So what I would take this as, and I'm gonna throw it out there, no matter which person you are, is that don't shy away from putting in the work. No matter how much of a badass boss bitch that you are, I would encourage you to not ride on. Not rest on your laurels, not ride on your coattails, and really, put the work in. That's basically it. So, and again, it's looking optimistic for you no matter what this week throws at you, Group 3. So on that note, I will invite you to please stay tuned for your Oracle card reading, which is coming up right now. Did I get that right away? Ah, close enough. Great. So Group A, your card is Keeping Still. This is I Ching hexagram number 52. And the keywords are meditation, self-renewal, composure, detachment, self-acceptance, equanimity, and serenity. There is a phrase that is coming to me, which I think sums up the feel of this. Is in life you have to care, but not that much. I would invite you to, focus on renewal, regeneration, and to be gentle with yourself, and never let the fact that things are taking longer than you would like affect yourself, your sense of self-esteem. There we go. I almost said self-importance there. But yeah, are there any other words? Yeah, meditation, self-renewal, composure. Just be confident and relax and loosen your grip. I don't think that your grip on your desire to control everything is that tight, but if it is, I would invite you to loosen it, Group A. I can't say words good right now. All right, Group B, your card is Solar Flares. Activate. This is a time for you to, I'm thinking of that spark, the metaphor that I'm having trouble saying, but that was clear in my mind this whole time is, when you light a barbecue, you turn the gas on and then you put the lighter in and then it goes like that. I would invite you to get moving, so to speak, and to really, if there's something that you've been wanting to do that you are hesitant to do, I would take this as a green light to tap into that. By tapping into that, it could be taking the next steps to do what you want to do, or to tap into that part of yourself that you've locked away because you're doubtful about its ability to serve you the way you would like it to serve you. Good. Group C, your card is Flow. Oh, I love it. This card feels self-explanatory. I would invite you to, how can I elaborate on this self-explanatory card, especially given the readings that I just gave? I'm actually going to need to take a moment. Okay, so I'm going to hold this card up as I go into this rant. So there is a book that I read many years ago called Flow, about the flow state by I forget the name of the author, but I probably couldn't pronounce it even if I could remember. It sounds like a name from one of those Nordic countries of Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. Anyway, the reason I'm thinking of that book is this card for you might be an invitation for you to go with the flow, but it could also be an invitation for you to seek out the flow state. And the key to being in the flow state is to be at that point where your skill level and the level required to face the challenges that are in front of you are a match. When you're playing at like the limit of your skill without going into overwhelm territory, that's when you can activate the flow state. So if you find yourself bored this week, Group C, I would invite you to take it up a notch and to take up the challenge. And if you find yourself overwhelmed, I would encourage you to take it down a notch and to really do what you can to take that flow state. But it could also be just a straightforward go with the flow, which was the first impression that I got. All right, Group D, your card is Escape. This is Mars in Pisces. So let me take a look at this here. Group D, I would take this as a warning to not lose yourself too much in the activities that you undertake or the things that you are trying to accomplish. And here's what I mean. Pisces is in general, Pisces in general comes off to me as a very dreamy energy. It's mutable water and things like that. And Mars is, you know, a decisive, like, here, we're going over there, you know? So Mars takes decisive, very straightforward, clear decisions. And with the Piscean, dreamy energy of Pisces, I would take this as a meaning. I'm reminded of the phrase, it's okay to have a dream, but you can't live in a dream world. And I don't think that this is a warning against you living in a dream world. I think this is a warning to just be. It's okay to go after what you're after, but take care of yourself as well, and to make sure that that you don't get lost in whatever it is that you're doing, and that you don't like neglect yourself, so to speak. I weirdly enough, especially with this meditating monk here at the top of this card, I would take this as a warning to just not forget about yourself, and to not neglect to take care of yourself, and to assert yourself whenever you need asserting this week, Group D. Thank you so much for watching. If your reading resonated with you, please let me know in the comments below. And with that, I hope you have a great week. Thanks again for watching. You take care. I'll see you soon.